quite a number of issues have been raised over the past few weeks, but right at the top of the table in those issues is the water crisis that has had many people quite really affected, and it's gotten to a point where people are now calling it a national crisis. We also do understand that quite a number of schools have been affected by these water outages, and to speak to us more about some of the contingency plans to ensure that schooling is not really that affected by the water crisis is Steve Mabona from the Gauteng Department of Education. Steve, thank you so much for your time. Quite a number of schools have been affected by the water crisis in the province as well as nationally. But in Gauteng specifically, we've seen quite a number of schools where parents showed us SMSs where the schools urge parents to keep their children at home. Talk to us about some of the issues faced by these schools, as well as what the department is planning to do to ensure that all the learners are caught up with the work that they've missed.
No, thanks very much. The schools mostly that are affected, they have boreholes and they have tanks to store water. And to a certain extent, we have an arrangement with the municipality to deliver water at those schools so that we then store in the tanks. And to a certain extent, we gave them permission to release children earlier, most especially your primary schools. The high schools, even if they were to release children earlier, the grade 12s must be in class. So the contingency plan will have to accommodate the grade 12s more than the other learners, because we'll be in a position then to release them. But yes, it's quite a issue that is affecting us. There's few schools that are affected in this area where we at, the Xavier area, probably Johannesburg North. That's where we are experiencing these challenges. That's safe to say that because of the contingency plans that we have at the schools, I mean, you will know that most of the schools in these areas, you are 4 or 5, quintile 4 or 5. So they should be in a position to then have boreholes, the tanks as well, which we have played a significant role in making sure that we support all schools in terms of them having the tanks. So we are quite comforted. The only thing that must happen, municipality must be consistent in making sure that they deliver water so that we can store in those tanks. Because if we are depleted in the tanks, then it will mean that we will not be operational.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for your time. That was quite comprehensive. Well, there you have it. Quite a number of efforts from different departments to ensure that schooling is not really affected. And also, quite a number of people will be waiting with bated breath to listen to the State of the Nation address to see if water comes up as one of those main talking points, rather, and also to find out how long this crisis will be going on for, what needs to happen to ensure that these outages aren't as consistent as they've been. The past few weeks, we've noticed that people could go around 21 days without water. That's almost a month. And that really has a crippling effect on a number of issues, particularly the learners of various schools around these areas. We're currently in Emerentia, and quite a number of schools around here were also affected. But we've just heard Steve saying that the department, as well as the municipality, have come together to ensure that resources are taken to these schools to ensure that there isn't as much disruption as there would be if there weren't any contingency plans. I think we'll leave it there for now and take it back to the studio.